This is FYI on your TV, brought to you by Hometown News. I'm Kathy Botham. I have got Anne Jansen back with me. You are the Volunteer Executive Director of the Hospice Hub out of Perth, and Alfred von Merbach, you're back here. You've been a regular here regularly. Yes. We're here to talk about the polar plunge and other things that are going on at the hospice right now, but the polar plunge is coming up quickly. It's only a few weeks away, January 1st.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Things are happening. We're doing great. We already have raised over half our target. We're over 23,000, close to 24,000 raised, and I think well over 50 plungers. A whole bunch of teams. Wow. There's 15 or so teams that have signed. And you know, we still, normally it all comes in the last few weeks. Yes. So we're really hopeful that we're going to blow past our $40,000 target, which would be the most ever raised by a recipient group.
Wow. And
so, yeah, and just hoping for a good, exciting January 1st.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, the polar plunge in Perth has been going on for
31 years.
31 years now, eh? Wow. It's quite a tradition there too. So this year the Hospice Hub is the honorary recipient to get the funds from it. So looking forward to that. And you haven't been here for a little while.
I haven't.
No.
It was late May that I was here, and at that time we were talking about the Hike for Hospice, which was also one of our big fun and awareness and fundraisers. And you know, as Alfred was saying here, the Hike for Hospice went so incredibly well that we have been able to make great strides since we last spoke, Kathy. Mm-hmm. We've been able to hire a nurse coordinator. We've launched and are now offering support in the home and really supporting clients from the time they're referred to us all the way through into bereavement, their families. But what Alfred said about how successful we've already been so far with the plunge, and we've got halfway to go. I think we'll blow it away again, and the reason is really because the time is right. The community really recognizes the need for the Hospice Hub, for hospice services. It's crazy. There are more people dying in our community than are being born. We need to be paying attention to this part of our lives. It's a very important part of our life. So
you have a big catchment area too. It's not
huge
just Perth.
Catchment area, and I think that's part of been the challenge in the past. So we're serving all of the same people who would use the Perth and Smith Falls District Hospital. Those are the people that we serve as well. So that's Lanark Highlands down to Rideau Ferry, Tay Valley Township, Smith Falls, and all the areas in between.
Portland, Westport.
Westport. That's Rideau Lakes. I said Lanark Highlands, Rideau Lakes area.
Okay.
And we have clients now in all of those areas. So it's really kind of broad-based and very exciting. I think, I get kind of teary-eyed because we get testimonials back. People are writing back to say thank you for the services that have been provided, and I think this is why we're doing this. This is why we started this, and it feels so good to be able to be there now.
Absolutely. I mean, a hospice is so much more than helping the person that's going through end of life. It's the friends and the family that are surrounded by them too, and you continue to support them after the person's passed.
Yeah. I think that's a very a key point, isn't it? That it's not just the client, the person that has the life-limiting illness, but it's their family, and the families, whoever they call their family, whoever is their circle of care. Those are the people that are supported.
So most of your support right now is happening in home?
All of it is happening in home. Some is just it's on the phone. It's a caregiver who wants support in, their family member has been diagnosed, and they need help with navigating the complexities of the healthcare system, which is complex at any time. So at end of life, when you're not sure what resources are available, they'll have a phone call, and it could be a 1.5 hour, 2 hour phone call. That is actually one of the people that recently wrote to say how thankful they were. Their loved one ended up not being able to make it home from the hospital, but they were so grateful for that phone call that it changed everything already just for them in the last 2 days with their father and husband. So it's not what we're doing is all over Canada. It's all over the world. It's all over Ontario. So it's not rocket science. It's surprising that we haven't had it yet here, but.
And it's like you say, it's all over Ontario. It's all over the world. We just didn't have the service here, so that's what you're providing.
So we're not doing anything that can't be done.
Right.
It's ambitious, but it's completely attainable.
That's right, and most of it's by volunteers.
Amazing group of volunteers. It's hugely talented, but that is also why the plunge and the Hike for Hospice and these events are so important. They raise awareness. We have fun. We raise friends, and we raise the funds so that the volunteers. We need paid staff now.
Yes.
And we've been very fortunate since we last spoke. We've had a part-time kind of office and communications coordinator, a part-time nurse coordinator now, and then we've got a
You got a phone number.
and we have a phone number.
You're so excited.
Shall I
when you
read it
came
out loud?
Yes.
So if anybody needs services, and they can refer themselves, they can refer a family member, they can call 613-627-0974. And then you'll be directed, because that's probably the easiest way, but if people prefer email, that's what I prefer. Email is fine as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now you've got an event coming up too. An
Yes.
evening of remembrance.
So this time of the year can be very difficult for people who have lost somebody or are in the process of losing someone. There are 2 events that are being organized by our bereavement coordinator, one in Smith Falls and one in Perth. This is the one in Smith Falls on December 17th at Lannan Funeral Home, who have been fantastic supporting us with our events. And then the next one is in Perth on the day December 18th. It's just changed venues, and we'd have to go to the website to. I think I know that it's Perthshire, but that's all. We'd have to go to the website to find out.
Okay, so what would this evening be about?
I have to read it, Kathy.
Okay, yes.
What Patty has written is that during the season of Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, winter solstice, and other celebrations, we invite you to join us in honoring our deceased loved ones in remembrance and gratitude. And I know there will be refreshments, and it'll be a wonderful, facilitated, but a group sharing. And I know that the people that have been to others like this have really appreciated it.
Absolutely. You know, it's the
You're not
group
alone.
sharing. You're not alone. It's networking. It's finding out, you know,
Yeah.
how did you do? How do you feel now?
And if you
Why
just
do I
wanna-
feel like this? Yes.
And if you want to be there and just observe,
Yep.
no one's put on the spot to do or be anything.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, if you want to become a volunteer with the hospice, how do people do that?
info@thehоспicehub.ca or volunteer at thehоспicehub.ca. This is something we're looking at. Our volunteer program is just blowing. It's amazing. Again, it's another recognition of the need. We're building the capacity within the community. We have a volunteer training program happening right now with 20 amazing people. And Alfred, you did the last one.
Yeah.
And do you want to say something about how amazing it is?
Oh, it's just, I learned so much. I stumbled into, doing sort of hospice work with my parents, but I didn't know anything about how to do that. And so now to actually sort of say, this is what to do, how to be present, how not to sort of, how to just deal with all of the issues there.
Yeah,
and
the
to
training-
understand all the other things that are there, paramedicine and whatever, these
Absolutely.
incredible things in the community. So
Yeah, the training is extensive. It's not just you go in for an hour and talk. It's days of training. Yes.
It's 8 weeks, at least 3 hours a week, and we bring in local experts so that we can really make it locally relevant as
Right.
well.
Yes.
Very hands-on. Tomorrow it's going to be about actually lifts and transfers. That's what the group is doing now. But it's also, family dynamics. What can you expect? What was the grief process? What is the trajectory? What kind of challenges do you face when you go in just to be a compassionate presence as a volunteer as well?
Right.
So, but the wonderful thing is these folks are there to be there for others, but they're there for their families and the rest of the community as well. So
Absolutely.
we are really building a compassionate community, and it's very exciting.
It is very exciting, very exciting. So once again, January 1st, the Polar
Yes.
Plunge.
So-
How do people volunteer? How do people get a
So
pledge sheet?
if you're a brave soul who wants to plunge for this worthy cause, just go to thehоспicehub.ca. You'll see plunge right at the top. Click on that, and then go, I want to plunge, and then you sort of register, and it'll take you to Zephy, our fundraising platform. And and you can set up a team, and you can make your own custom profile, and then you can send out that page to all your friends or on social media or email. And it's a really good way to. So we have 4 or 5 people already raised over $2,000.
Wow.
Or if you just want to make a donation, you click on donate, and then you can see everybody who's registered so far. You say, oh, I didn't know. And so maybe, make a donation to a few of the people, your friends. You'll be surprised. We reached out to the politicians, and we've got now 3. So we have, and we're challenging all of them to raise, but Gary Waterfield, a councillor in town of Perth, and Rob Reiner, who's in Tay Valley Township, Reeve. And then we have somebody jumping for Michelle Foxton. So her husband, Wade, is going to be jumping. So we've got some nice prominent plungers, and hopefully we'll have more.
And some experienced plungers. You've done this more than 10 times.
I have indeed.
Just last year even.
Yeah, it's just it's a fabulous thing. I know it seems terrifying, but boy, it feels very rejuvenating, and you feel ready to tackle the world when you've done it. So hopefully you will plunge or pledge or just come out and feel the joy of everybody doing this beautiful thing for the community, for the Hospice Hub.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I thank you for everything you do, and who better to be talking about the plunge than somebody that's done it more than 10
Yes.
times? And this year is for the Hospice Hub, so
Yeah, we're
wonderful.
very fortunate for that,
Yeah.
actually, really.
Yeah.
And a lot of us within the team, the volunteer team, are plunging, many for the
Yes.
first time, and likely the last. Or who knows? I mean, based on Alfred's experience, perhaps we'll plunge over and over again for all the other good causes that are coming afterwards.
That's right. Well, at least you said you can say you did. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
Do you want to say your phone number one more time?
Sure. It's 613-627-0974, and we hope to see you at the plunge.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for coming here today. I've got
Thank you,
Alfred
Kathy.
von Merbach and Ann Jansen, your volunteer executive director. And what is your title there?
Lead organizer for the plunge.
There you go. There you go. There's a person to go to for sure. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks
Thanks,
again,
Kathy.
Kathy.